Wait, do you ever get disappointed when you're showing someone something for the first time and you really want them to get it? And
No,
they
not
don't?
at all. I think
Yes.
Oh.
Matt knew exactly where I was
Absolutely.
going with that question.
I'm clearly an Eeyore.
I'm probably Rue.
I'm a Christopher Robin with a Pooh Rising.
And then I get in a canoe and I'm like, Claire's don't like canoes.
No, they don't.
I'm afraid of this lake.
That's exactly what it was.
Ow.
It was a beautiful moment in our friendship. I was
literally in the middle of getting hers up and down the
Pathetic.
stairs. Ow. I was like, I'm trying to get my hair done. I'm like,
I don't think that's an accurate representation of my owl.
well, you were in such pain you couldn't see clearly. So,
Trauma.
Thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. I'm Matt Young. I'm a theater educator and a parent. And ever since I lost my father to cancer, I have been mildly obsessed with death. This is my last will and testament. Brandon Sanderson once wrote, "The purpose of a storyteller is not to tell you how to think, but to give you questions to think upon." Guess what? Episode 50 is here, and it is all about storytelling. I hope you enjoy.
My mom, every time we open presents, she's like, save the paper. So she's always opening the presents like very
well, what
carefully.
are you doing though right now?
You know what? I'm not going to do it that way because I don't really
plus-
here we go. What's this?
The toys?
Okay,
you have,
so
you have to describe it.
So this is a poop boxer, and is this a pen? Oh my god. Okay, so
Okay, does it fart every time it punches?
No.
so it's it's a toy. Oh my god, it makes a sound. Okay, it says it looks like a pen, but it's got the poop
I want to read the
emoji
description.
head. Okay, Grady, here you go.
I think it's a pen.
I'm gonna open the presents and Grady's gonna explain
It's
them.
called Introducing Poop Boxer. I punch and I fart. You control his arms. Each punch packs a powerful fart. Challenge your friends to epic boxing battles. Punch and fart your way to victory.
Wait, do you need to have, like, somebody else needs to have one?
Try me. See back.
I don't want anyone to have
No.
that.
Get ready.
Oh, it does fart. It does fart.
Oh my god!
That's even better than I thought it was.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Oh,
That's so amazing.
I want this.
Grady's,
All right.
Grady's,
Ready?
Grady's making the facial expressions. Ew.
That's messy. That last one was messy.
It's nicer. They're different.
Yes. Yeah, they are.
Little liquidy, little like, oh, that came out okay. I think.
Who made this? Like, who came up with this?
Norelco.
The best people ever, I would think.
My friend that I'm hanging out with tomorrow. We share so much like fart humor and poop humor on Instagram. It's disgusting. Like now, that's what my thread is.
If you
My
take it-
feed
If
is.
you take it out of the packaging, it's not worth anything. So keep it in the packaging, as you've learned.
But
Don't keep anything in the packaging.
No, I mean, I wanna
That's
keep it
not how
next
we
to my
live life.
bed, and I
We don't want to live life in a package.
I'm gonna like leave voicemails with it on.
Some people should live life in a package.
So Claire is opening some presents because she got a birthday advent present calendar as her birthday approaches. Hey, welcome to Last Will Podcast.
Hey. Sorry, I
That's
have all
all
these,
right.
I have all these presents and I'm like distracted.
Keep going.
Do it. That's
Okay,
well,
I'm gonna keep
well,
going.
decided to roll through it.
Meaning, Matt decided to get me a present for every single day of July because my birthday is the first day of August, and I shouldn't tell people that.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
It's okay. There are a lot of people who
Yeah,
have that birthday.
That's fine. Don't give away your social security number.
291
No,
It's too
Claire,
late.
don't.
It's too late.
Oh no.
48
She's been secretly giving it away.
587
People keep asking.
618
Yeah.
999
Oh
9999.
Oh, it's a bag.
It's like a reusable bag.
Oh, I
Look-
love it.
look,
I'm gonna
eco
put all my
bag.
presents in it.
There you go.
Oh, it's so pretty. Wait, this is really nice because like I need something to bring my lunch
And
to,
you-
I know.
to work
You
with.
use it in the car.
You could use it in the car.
What
Basically, I'm like signing my name on the card right now. These are not for me. So I'm sorry about that.
No,
It's like,
Grady
who the
gave
fuck
great
this is?
support. Grady gave great support.
Okay, so this is a
Sorry.
beautiful blue bag, and it's perfect because it's a beautiful color, and it's
Yay.
got
Harry
it says the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Sorry, I was just drinking iced coffee,
Better
That's all right.
than-
and it's
That's
got all the the houses of Harry Potter on it. You know, in case you don't know what
Make sure there's
those
no
are.
gift card
Yes.
You can
inside.
read the books.
Is there a gift card in there? You never know.
There's no gift
in
card.
it.
No, I
But
don't. I
mean,
don't
it's
read
not
anything.
It's never greedy to double check the bag.
No,
I
that's
just want
true.
to say that.
That's true.
But this was folded up pretty nicely. This is beautiful. Well, I'm very
Thank
excited
you.
about that. Okay,
No,
so
you're-
that was for August
August 1st and
July
2nd.
2nd.
You're right, because we're not in August yet.
This one's from me.
So they all have the dates on them, and the reason I did it was because, can I say?
Sure.
Well, Claire said that she had like anxiety leading up to her birthday. So I figured I would distract her before we got to her birthday, and then on her birthday we'd just totally ignore it. We'll just do nothing. We won't even call.
I think you should call.
Like we're not going to do anything for your birthday. No, we already got. We actually.
there were consequences that came with accepting this.
No,
gift.
but like the present. Claire's already gotten her
you
present
can choose your birthday
for her birthday, but it's in
I'm gonna get
March.
presents on my birthday
Yes,
too. Yeah,
of
like my
course.
company, we do the cake and
Yes.
the lunch and the flowers, and
And
everybody's really nice to me. And then this
for
is,
that one day.
Ooh,
Yep.
what's this?
This I really like. I don't know if.
This is an emotional support pickling doll for a Christmas ornament gift. You should see what Matt, what this.
It goes on the back of
This
your
is
tree.
really funny.
It's a
This
German
is-
Oh, I should have taken that sticker off.
No. The sticker is funny because it says emotional support pickle, comma, ... NG doll.
Oh, what does that even mean?
I don't know, but it's adorable, and I'm not just gonna keep him on my Christmas tree.
That goes on the back of your Christmas tree. It's a German tradition. It's good luck. You put it in the back where it's not seen.
That is a German thing, right?
Yeah.
They hide the pick.
You had the pickle.
Okay, I don't know about that. So this says
I just told you.
I don't know if he's joking or not.
I'm not
sometimes
kidding. I
It's
swear to
actually, he's
God,
not.
I'm
I just
He's not?
I just saw it on something.
I
God,
thought you
hate
were
my
just going
life.
along with it.
No, they did it on Beat Bobby Flay. They hid the pickle for Christmas, and whoever found it got a prize.
Oh, really?
But I don't want to. But he
No, you
doesn't-
don't. You don't have to hide it anywhere. You do whatever you want with
Okay,
your
Well,
he
during,
does that-
during Christmas, it can live on the back of the tree. Your family does
I
it.
don't want to put him on the back of the
Don't
tree.
don't. You
The
don't have to
cat's
do
gonna
anything.
get it.
It's good. The cats, they're going to get it.
Well, can I just keep him next to my bed all
Yes.
year?
I don't care. It's
So
not for
here's what
me.
it says. It says emotional support pickle. I will always be around to let you know that you are a big dill.
There you go.
Wow.
There you
Matt,
go.
I
Very
love
punny.
this. Look, my little friend.
I
So-
know, right?
It was a tradition that on Christmas morning, the first kid to find the pickle on the back of the tree got a special present.
So do they hide it at night?
The parents would hide it at some point.
I'd like to
during
know the
season.
origin of like how the pickle became to be this special thing that
Sorry,
they
and
had.
it was a real pickle? Like,
think
do
so,
they have
yeah,
to take
yeah.
it out of the fridge and wash it off? Or out of the garden?
I don't think it was a knitted pickle.
What if nobody found it?
Then eventually it started to stink. Started to stink. What? You're the researcher for the podcast. Grady researcher.
Translation, I have my phone out.
Yes. Always.
Okay, so this one's for 7-4. So this
7-4,
one's obviously
7-4.
going to have something to do
Civil
with
War
Independence Day.
prisoner. Here's one of the myths. A German-American soldier who was taken prisoner during the Civil War begged for a guard for one last pickle before he died. The pickle gave him strength to live on. He began hanging a pickle on his tree each year. It's a symbol of hope, reminding people that even in the darkest of times, there's always a glimmer of light.
So it's a German American tradition, not a German
Well,
tradition.
It's also a marketing gimmick in the late 1800s.
There you go.
I would
1880s,
totally do that,
American
yeah.
stores began selling glass ornaments imported from Germany in the shapes of fruits and vegetables. Woolworths,
There we go.
obviously, realized that they had a lot of unsold glass pickle ornaments and decided to convince Americans they wanted to hang pickles from their trees. They made up a story that it was an age-old German custom to hide a pickle in the tree for one lucky family member to find. Once again, Americans have lied. Surprise.
Well,
Wow.
That actually kind of, I thought we
I'm
were
glad
on a
you
nice
did, I'm
story
glad you
there.
did that research.
It's like, well, Woolworth said, hey, you want a pickle, don't you?
well, see, that's a story I can get behind.
5, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank,
We need one for every child. Ooh, look at
we only have 2.
these.
Wow, I wanted one of these.
Okay,
I
so
wanted the
I
mushroom one.
just-
So there's the mushrooms on them?
Yeah, there's a little mushroom on.
Fucking, you got.
Okay, you're gonna have to get Grady one too.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what we
I
got.
just pulled out
love
two
night
cute little
lights.
vases of
They
flowers.
can go on your bedsides.
And
Do you have 2 plugs?
They are night lights.
They're night lights.
I
Yeah.
love night lights so much.
I think I have to give Grady one.
No,
You don't have to do
no.
anything.
No, they're a set. You don't break up a set.
Oh, okay.
Grady's got rules.
This is great because it's always scary
You have
going to the
boundaries,
bathroom
I
in the
have
night.
rules.
Yes,
you know.
you need a night light.
Do you have 2 on your bedsides?
I can't sleep with light in my room, but I can sleep.
These just emit a gentle wave.
Claire needs the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
super
no
dark.
cords, so there's not going to be any kind of like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this is in here.
My-
Fire hazard.
My mom. Oh.
Sorry.
So what happens with these? Is it like it's not on all the time? Like, do you? So like during the day,
Plug it
is
in.
it on?
Sometimes they're.
Give it to me.
I don't know. Do I have
Plug
a
it in.
Ew. Effort?
Plug it in.
Yeah,
plug
because it's
it
got a
in.
sensor, so it's only going to come on when the lights are off. See on the bottom?
Oh.
There's your sensor.
Oh. God,
That's-
Grady knows.
Put
a
him in the
lot.
bathroom. I have
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
the bathroom.
Yeah, probably in the upstairs and the downstairs
Yeah,
for
yeah.
one for Willie. He doesn't need it. He's nocturnal.
There should be
Grady's-
one on that side. This is great podcasting.
Yeah.
So they're nightlight thingies. There you go.
I can't see it.
Not his problem.
What does it look like? Oh,
Claire.
stop it.
Oh,
I
he's
have
so
to get up and look.
excited. Okay, so
Um,
oh, Grady has plugged in the mushroom flower nightlight, and it cycles through colors, and they are both very fascinated by it. I just like light up mushrooms. That's why I bought it. I thought light up mushrooms was the way to go. You never know what people are going to enjoy, so sometimes you just kind of throw paint at the wall and see. Claire, by accident, I think, turned on the air fryer.
No, that was.
was
Oh,
me.
okay. That was
was me.
Grady. Okay.
Okay, we're back.
So now they're back. Now they're back.
It did shock me, but it's fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
He just his eyes are.
His hair is a little standing taller for some reason.
His eyes
And there's
are
smoke
wide.
coming.
You know my hair doesn't look nice today.
Stop it.
This smells like something.
Oh,
This
I
is
know what that
definitely-
is. I helped with that. We all did.
Ooh, shower steamers. Ooh,
Yeah, you know.
fun.
Ooh, I love those.
This is going to incentivize me to take showers now.
Secretly, I didn't really want to get you any presents because we hid this in here because we were trying to tell you, Claire, it's time to take showers.
Oh yeah.
Every fourth present is shower
It's
bombs.
a shower. Yeah, well,
Could you
that's-
imagine?
Well, I mean, there's nothing like running out of your
Excuse
fun
me.
bathing and showering things until like you've
That's
run
a
out and you're
big-ass
like, now
thing
what
of
do I
it.
do? I ran out of presents.
Yes.
You
You're
know,
in
There,
there.
yeah.
there are 8 aromatherapy shower bombs. Body
I love
Refresh.
a shower bomb.
I have a feeling they're is there?
You put them on the floor of the shower
Yeah,
in the corner.
I know.
Well, you're
Designed in the
the
European
scent
Union.
coming from you says differently. So
They were designed in the European Union.
Are they?
okay.
Grady, what's the flavor? Are they lavender? Oh,
Shut-
here it says.
I thought they were
probably
different.
Say they're eucalyptus and like mint.
Love it.
Well, tell me. Read it.
It doesn't say.
Yes, it does.
Okay, you. It's
I
fine.
guarantee you it says what it is.
All right.
I don't.
I do.
No. Today we're going to be talking about story, but we're going to get to it soon enough.
Okay, we've got 2 more presents.
2 more because we had to get
We had to
to
catch
the
up.
date. Yeah.
This is the most exciting. And Matt individually wrapped every single one of these, and it's beautiful.
Well, you have to. Some wrapping is better than other wrappings.
Okay,
I'll say
this
that much.
is
So this, I think, is a unique.
holy shit, Matt.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's a
that's not what I
variety
thought it was,
pack.
but yeah, I got you the 3 different. Everybody needs
They're
a
all
back
different.
scratcher.
Oh my
Travel
God.
scratchers.
Oh, all right. Oh, wow.
Telescopic
this one's really
travel
long.
scratchers.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so these are back scratchers, and they all have
They're
different
telescopic.
hands. Telescopic.
Some,
Oh, yeah,
some.
yeah.
I just have the bear one, and there was ones with just bears, but I figured this way you could choose if you wanted creepy skeleton hand
This
or
is
you
a
want that
variety
regular
pack.
back scratcher.
Oh, it's a variety pack.
You could energize with citrus.
Yeah, I think they were all different.
You could invigorate with
I know.
grapefruit.
I love back scratchers. Go.
So this is great because this past winter I needed a lot of back scratchers. My
Yeah.
mom got me one, but it wasn't retractable. So I needed one. It's like a long wooden one. So now I
Okay.
need one at work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it on my keys. It's telescopic. I can, use it as a baton,
If you want to conduct. Yep.
which is quite often.
One's just called Amor.
I
It has
brought
no
one with
direction.
me to Florida, and Sawyer also brought one with him to Florida.
You had
so
some
that
good
we just
gadgets
packed
in
them.
Florida,
We packed.
except for the feet shit.
Except for the feet shit. Yeah, we blew that one.
Thank
One
you.
of them has no instructions. It just says Amor.
Oh, I gotta save that one.
It's Rose.
But definitely, I have a back scratcher in the bedroom. I have one out here.
you have
the
a
kids
lot
have
in
one
here. Yeah.
because it came in like a 5-pack, and I'm like, why should they all sit in a drawer?
So funny.
I
Do you
should
know?
use
Do you
them.
know that I needed this because I mentioned this?
No, you didn't
just like
mention it.
them.
I just think it's essential to living.
So crazy.
When I
Because-
don't have a back scratcher around, you will see me rubbing up against walls and trees
Yeah.
like a bear.
Yeah. No, I'm like that too at work.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about this, and I've been like,
Maybe
I
that
need to get
translated.
back scratchers, but I don't know. And I've seen that you have like a lot here, and I keep meaning to ask you where you got them, and then
So,
like you read my
if we're talking
mind.
about
Yeah.
story, so far, what is this story telling you?
what
Oh, we're
story?
gonna get to that. Don't you worry.
I'm asking her.
Well, we're telling you a
what
story.
the story
No,
is telling
okay.
her.
Uh-oh. This one is.
Not what story.
Okay, I'm opening another present.
I'm phrasing.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh! It's a golden snitch.
It's a fidget spinner,
It's a fidget spinner.
but that's a golden snitch.
Wow.
So you're
Hold
supposed to
it?
hold it.
I know.
Okay.
I just
You
wanted
do
to spin it.
Yeah, do whatever you want. It's yours.
Oh, this is. See, you know how much I love to fidget.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a golden snitch, and as you all know, the golden snitch. Well, most of you know
Most.
that the golden snitch is from Harry Potter, and earlier this year when we did Puffs, which is a Harry Potter-based play, I played Harry Potter, and I had the golden snitch.
I thought I recognized you.
Yeah. Oh, you. Oh, did you see it?
No, he didn't. He was in it, but he did not see
I did
it.
not see
He did not
it. I
watch a
did
bit
not
of
see
it.
it. I did not see it.
This is a fidget
Good
spinner.
question. Did you
This
see
is
it?
so cool.
No, I didn't.
No,
This
he
is the
didn't.
prettiest fidget spinner that anyone has ever gotten.
Badass. Yeah.
Because look at
I'm
this.
jealous. It's great.
It's one of those double presents that's
It's also
like
pretty. Yeah, because it
mesmerizing.
means something. And when you spin it, it looks. It's just really cool.
Looks like it's flying like the golden snitch.
Wow. This is a good one to end on for today.
yeah.
Wow, Matt.
Can we go ahead and pre-do tomorrow?
No,
Fair enough.
I want to because I don't want to get ahead.
No, you want to stay. You want to stay like because we started late. You got a little bit of a frenzy to begin with, but now it's one a day.
This is amazing. Okay, we should start talking about stories.
What story is this telling you? What story have you been told?
It's the story of friendship. It's a story of care. It's a story of thoughtfulness. Not to pat myself on the back,
Body fragrance awareness.
but like this whole
Hygiene.
podcast. Yes, it's all about hygiene. Actually, this whole podcast is about being seen,
there you go. That's your answer.
feeling seen, and so when I was thinking about my closest friends, which are Grady and Claire, and they have very, very different feelings about their birthday, I wanted them to know that I see them. Because here's the thing about Grady and his birthday. He doesn't want a celebration, but the truth of the matter is he really likes a gift that is thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've gotten him a gift, he's really appreciated it, although he will say, like, I don't want gifts, I just want to give things. But I know deep down that when I find something that I feel is very Grady and I give it to him, he really, really
Exciting.
appreciates it.
Exciting.
So,
Yes, I do.
So
I
that's the way into Grady to celebrate him on his birthday, because I'm a gift giver, so I have to do that. Claire, on the other hand, is very much like myself.
Stingy. No.
What?
I'm thinking of a play.
I heard that.
I didn't mean that.
We like gifts,
We do.
You
you
did.
know. And
Those shower steamers go on the floor. They don't go inside.
I know.
Some people
inside what? You
people
thought she was
put them
going to eat
inside
them?
themselves.
I've used a shower steamer before.
I don't know.
I don't think there was any chance she was going to put it inside herself.
See, always have to be like this.
No, one day I'll be gone.
That's because
No.
7 years. No, that's me. I'm sorry.
You got 5. I got 7.
That's because I unveiled who Grady was, and there was vulnerability, and so now he's trying to cover it up with jokes. And that's it.
So I love giving gifts too. But I lately have been so picky about the caliber of gifts that I give people because for most of my life, I go to gift shops and I'm like, oh, these are cute. And then I think about giving people gifts that I would like to get,
Yes.
so, nowadays I have collected so many things and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I gotta really cut back. So I think about, my grandmother used to say, like, don't get me any presents. Like, I don't need any more stuff. And so now and the places I've been going, I haven't really found many quality gifts. But you did some work here, Matt.
Oh, well, thank you.
You did. I don't know where you found all this stuff.
I can't give away all my secrets. Look, the idea of an advent calendar leading up to your birthday is very much about quantity over quality, but I do try to be thoughtful about the things that are in there.
I just can't believe how much time you probably took. Well, also, people have told me I'm easy to get gifts for.
Well, you have some major categories.
I do have some major categories.
I don't think I hit any of those in the first 7 though. So those categories will pop up.
Well, Harry Potter's a category.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't put that in one of the major Claire categories.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, Backscratcher is a category you didn't know about.
You're not in Double
No.
Jeopardy yet.
But I did know you
We're
were
still
human,
in the 100s,
You know.
right?
I
Take
do
popular literature
struggle
for
with
100.
with bathing, so there's always
Yes,
that.
we've been trying to say that for a while.
I
No,
wa-
like in the end though too, it's like, I wanted you to feel seen. I wanted you to feel thought of and cared for, and that again, that's the whole reason I started the podcast. Is I wanted to help people feel seen. I wanted to feel seen myself. So that's why we go with humor, honesty, and vulnerability at the core of everything that we do. Yeah.
Wow.
Claire.
So
Sorry, I'm just fidget spinning.
the joy that you have shown is like a gift in itself. So, look, I mean, the second I get a girlfriend, this may all stop, guys.
Yeah.
So, no, it won't, because I still love.
No, your
getting things
girlfriend
from
is
my
not
friends.
going to be okay with you.
No,
It
she
would-
probably would not.
Even I mean, I am another girl, but even if you express this much
11-11.
for a
Romantic partner.
no, like a friend.
Yes.
I mean, or like I am a friend, but like a member of the same sex, you know.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend still might be like, okay, well, what am I getting for my birthday? You're like, I mean,
But like in the end,
but you can't give her a lot until you've been with her at least like 2 years.
no, but like my brain will like if things start to progress or whatever, my brain will start remembering certain things, and so that it'll start processing.
You just got to be careful.
For
If the
gifts.
birthday's within the first 6 months, you can't go big.
No, I got to go thoughtful.
Within the
Not
first
big.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you mean?
because if you're just dating within, like, even
You
in the
don't want
first.
to. You don't want to like put all your. I mean, with the last person I dated, his birthday was in the first month that we started talking,
Yeah.
and that was a little. It's like, what do I do? I just got him something like a water bottle.
Yeah, the last last person I was seeing definitely got out the week of my birthday.
Oh.
So, but that was never really on. That was always an off and on and off and on and off and on and off and on.
Always like baking. I did that too. Baking.
Baking
signs
is a
of
nice
affection
gift.
with like baked goods or like efforts.
Yeah. So today we're so now that we've gotten through that, I don't know if that made for good podcasting
It
or
did.
not, but
It did.
like
You could
it's
just-
who we are.
we could tell them that they could fast forward until now if they want.
Yeah, we'll say that at the beginning. So today the thing we wanted to do, because it's our 50th episode. Today is our 50th episode. So we
Happy
wanted to
50.
make it something.
Oh, and Matt
big
turned
and
50 this
celebratory.
year.
That's true. I did. I mean, it's the facts. I can't run away from it. I'm still very immature. No?
No, I don't think you are.
Damn it.
But I don't think being immature is necessarily a bad thing
What's
when
that
it comes to
quote
old
there?
age.
Is that y'all?
What is my dating range now? As a 50-year-old.
It's whatever you want it to be.
I don't know.
It's whatever you want
I don't
it to
think
be.
I could date anybody in their 20s. I think
I
don't think you could date anybody in their 20s.
I wouldn't date anyone in my 20s. But do you want to date someone in your 20s is the
No.
question.
No.
So I would say for you probably like
Unless they like me, and then I'll like them.
well then I wouldn't
That's my biggest thing.
you just got to be careful of that.
Yes.
I would say 35 and up for you.
35 and up.
And no more than 60.
No more than 60. Thank you.
I think you need
Thank
to,
you.
to shoot upwards.
Yeah, go
I
65
think-
to
no,
75.
I think we're looking at soft foods.
Oh, okay, mushy peas everywhere.
Oh no.
Okay, I didn't say that, but I was trying to. Yeah, I think we go up.
Okay.
Try it.
I
See
could
what
go
happens.
Out dancing and endless shrimp. I think you know what I'm saying.
I have to eat dinner at 4:30.
Yeah, but then guess
That might not
what?
be a bad thing. Maybe you'll
That
go to
way I
bed
can
early.
digest and
You'll
yeah.
go to bed earlier.
You'll get in that will.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
That's
not a
really
bad
nice.
That's the real
idea.
last will.
Then
Real
I
last
could
will
kick
and
my- I
testament.
could kick
Get
my
her
feet
on
up.
here.
Talk about Matt kicking us to the curb. Well, where are you?
Can you imagine in 5
Undisclosed
years?
location.
I'm at
everything's different?
Roses. Gertrude has called.
I'm at Rose's. Can I call you back? She's coming. Hi. Oh, somebody got new teeth.
I thought you meant somebody
my
else.
God. Matt would be so great with an older
I think so too.
partner.
He'd be a generous
Well,
lover.
he'd be great with anyone, but
Thank you.
but I think too, like the level of care would change.
Yeah. We've lost Grady. I heard that sex drive though in the old age homes is pretty out of control. So
Well, I mean, of course it is. Those poor people. God.
There's not
Same
much to
four
do.
walls.
yeah,
I
gotta
have-
entertain
I have an
yourself.
urge to do all those at once.
I'm
I wanna
taking out
do
all the
them
shower
all at
steamers
one
and smelling
time
them.
to see if I pass out in the shower.
Your shower would
talking
have
about
to be
the shower
3 hours
bombs.
I
long.
want to thank you for your gift. I, however, am in the hospital for over inhalation of
Do you put
Amor.
them, I
It was
always feel like
worth
you
it.
put the shower steamers like in the line of water. Like
no,
right.
you put them in the corner of the shower, and the steam should be able to circulate
Oh,
them.
that's why they probably never lasted
Oh,
for me.
wait.
They go in the corner. You don't put the water put the water directly on them to start them, and then
So how long
push them
do
into
they
the corner.
last? Are they supposed to disintegrate after the
Depends
first
on
shower?
what kind of water pressure you got, Claire.
Do I put
Is
it
that a
in?
metaphor?
No.
Do I put it in in front of me, like in the far side of the shower, or closest to the
I would say it
faucet?
depends on your circulation wherever the steam is going.
I don't know the direction of my steam.
Well, then you have to look at it.
Can you come over
That may.
next
Do you
time
get
I
in the shower like it's like your Sandra Bullock and Birdwatch?
I
whatever the fucking
typically
movie
take
that is? What is
baths.
it? Bird bath?
I don't take bird baths.
Should you?
No. Sandra
Should we have
Bullock's-
gotten you
what is
bath
she in?
bombs instead?
No, because they stain the bathtub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I bet
Okay.
you've gotten told about that.
Oh, I have put the most
What are these
ridiculous shit in
rings?
the bathtub. It's like black, like red, like gold. I put like gold
Like
shit.
Kool-Aid?
No,
You bathed in gold?
like I bought this gold shimmer stuff, and I bathed in it on New Year's because I was gonna like go out and look shiny or something, and I just like there are parts of your body that sometimes you don't even know are there, and then you look and you're like,
Yeah, because they're now your orifices are stuffed with glitter.
yeah, it's not even glitter, it's just shimmer, and it was cool, but it
How
was
long did that last?
shimmer.
How many weeks?
it was a couple days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It was
You had
really strange.
How long did it take to get out of the tub?
I don't know.
No, I mean, how long physically did it take to get out of the tub? Did you have to brace yourself? Was it?
I don't think
Yeah.
that's what you meant.
It is.
Story. Happy 50th
That was
episode.
a story. That was a story.
That was
I
a
s-
story.
Oh, I have something funny to say.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if it's funny, but when I was
Well,
in
you should have started that way then.
so yeah, I'm sorry. When I was in summer camp, like we all got little nicknames.
Okay.
My friends used to call me Pointless Story.
Oh.
They nicknamed me PS because I was always starting stories, and
Yeah.
then they would like not have a point. Or they wouldn't have a punchline.
I sympathize with that because I think of
Why do
myself-
people need a punchline?
Well, they need a story. They want a story
Simple
to
minds.
go somewhere.
Fucking simple minds. Sorry.
No, we're not.
That's why so many people-
We're not talking about plays from the National Theater that like go deeper than the surface.
Well, I'm
We're
so
talking
I'm,
about-
I'm
no,
so
no, no.
sorry to want to explore something deeper.
Like art. I know. When
Can you open up Amor, Claire, and put some water on it?
Yeah.
No.
I
sec.
am an awful storyteller.
you're not.
No, you're
I
not.
am. When I tell story, like when I'm in a group of people and I tell stories, I lose my way. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't set the picture up. And no, there are people who are great storytellers that can tell a story that can hold a room. I can't.
Well, what kind of
I can't
story?
do that. I'm a counterpuncher.
What kind of story are we talking about? Like,
Just an anecdote,
are you
anecdote,
an
not an antidote.
anecdote?
Anecdote.
Yeah,
yes.
an antidote
Not-
is
not-
what you take when you
You have
get poisoned.
Yes.
But are you? So I have this problem too when I'm trying to explain something that happened in my life. Like, oh,
Yes.
this thing happened today, and I tend to like it has to do with my purpose and my motivation for telling the story, quote unquote.
Okay.
Because sometimes I only want people to know certain parts of the story, but then I realize there's no end or point to it. It's like I wanted to almost like brag about something, or I wanted to let people know. It's like I want them to know something about me, but I'm not explaining it right.
No, I agree.
There's a little bit of ego fluffing in that. Like I want
right.
to,
So you're thinking that because your purpose isn't pure,
yeah.
that you're losing your way.
Yeah.
Like karma is almost sabotaging your
Yeah,
story.
I mean, I also dated somebody who did not, after like the
Not a generous lover.
the sparkle wore off of like getting to know each
The
other and all
shimmer.
of that. The,
The
shimmer,
shimmer.
the gold
bath
shimmer.
Is
it
this
only
that
lasted a
same
couple
night?
days.
Right.
He eventually.
That's
he
what
was,
you meant. Oh, that's a great storytelling. You brought it back around to the shimmer
No, I didn't.
that lasted 48 hours.
A couple of years before that.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's fun to just.
All
say
right, all
that.
right. Can we talk about Claire's ex-lover?
Anyway, he
Yes.
basically
Yes.
eventually when we would be on the phone, I would stop talking. He's like, "Oh, are you done?" Or like, "Oh, was that it?"
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was kind of sad.
So he was
'Cause
not listening.
He wasn't listening, and
Or did he really genuinely not know if you were through and trying to be polite?
there's also that because he wasn't like a mean person, but I think he was just confused. Like, where's this going?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how's this?
No,
really-
Claire, I sympathize. I feel
But
that
I've never
way.
experienced that with you, Matt.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe because I just don't. I try not to tell stories. I really am like socially. I'm a counterpuncher. So you'll say something, and I can.
You ask questions way more than you tell stories.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to put your focus on your partners
You
than
have
it
very
is
succinct
yourself.
points you'll make too, and that's it. You're in and out.
I am a listener for
You are.
sure,
Yeah.
but I don't think I'm a very good storyteller.
Well, maybe I haven't heard you tell so many stories, or maybe I have enjoyed your stories. But I also believe that it's not. Sometimes it's not always what the story is; it's how you tell it.
Okay.
Because I think you like, as far as being a storyteller, being like a troubadour, or the people who tell stories. Like, there's a way of doing it that kind of gets you involved in the journey of it.
The
Yeah,
minstrel
yeah.
cycle.
Like, even if you were to tell me a story and then it has no point, I would have probably enjoyed the journey.
Yeah. You know who was a great storyteller? The guy who I did my first podcast with, the Process Podcast, who I think as well, Kevin McGuire.
Oh,
It was an acquaintance.
You did Shakespeare with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of Shakespeare. Kevin was a great storyteller. He just knew how to tell a story.
Mm.
He was enthusiastic. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. I just can't seem to get that out for
See,
for
I don't-
whatever
this is-
reason.
okay, well,
but I think I understand story.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But why are we stuck in this traditional need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end?
I think when you're telling a story to people around you, you do want purpose. You don't want to just be taking up space to have attention drawn to you.
No.
I think you want to be, you want to give and take. And so I think people understand the idea of a beginning, a middle, and an end, or at least a beginning and a middle, whether there's an end or not.
Okay, I like
Maybe.
that better. Fine.
Maybe there's just questions that arise. But let's do what our tradition is. 34 minutes into our podcast.
Claire?
We'll talk about the definition of story.
It's Claire's favorite.
Okay.
This is your present for today.
A story is a narrative, either true or fictional, that is designed to entertain, inform, or communicate a message. It typically involves a series of events or experiences that are presented in a structured form, often with a beginning, middle, and an end. Stories can take various forms, such as written works, oral tales, visual media like movies or television shows, or more. Sorry. There we go. Stories can take they often feature characters, settings, conflicts, resolutions that
What is a
engage
Love
the
Boat?
audience and convey themes, emotions, or ideas. Love Boat was a TV show.
Thought we were doing
Stories are a fundamental part of the human communication and have been used throughout history as means of sharing knowledge, culture, and experiences. That is the definition of story.
Well, history, his story, her story,
Her
her
story
story.
is told by the victors. So in perspective, like, okay,
So many
if
stories we
we're
don't
talking
know.
about nonfiction, right?
Yeah.
Throughout history, it really depends on the point of view of how these stories are being told, and then we get back to the idea of our truth and our facts. The truth of the Civil War is looked at very different from the different hemispheres in the country, right?
Yes.
But the facts are the facts of that. This person died, this many people died.
Very
It was
interesting
done
that you
here.
said that. I think about that a lot because you think of the word parade. That means something very different to maybe someone who lives in Germany that
Yeah.
grew up during the war than it does to us. But I find that very fascinating. How
Interesting.
that's a really cool thing. I think about that a lot.
When you think about
Because
like
what means something to me that's celebratory actually is like hearing about death to you.
and the Civil War too. I mean, if you look at today, there's still so much separation between the North and the South in this country.
Which is all just kind of talk, really.
Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
There's certain states I have
There's
no
words
interest in
there's
going
words I'm
to.
triggered by being from the South, I'm sure. Can't really think of any right now.
Words?
Sure. Or I just mean words that mean something different to me, or that maybe not to me, but someone from an area of the South, a word that might mean nothing to them means something has much more weight, or any weight at all to someone from the North. Or
What I found
Midwest.
interesting, like when I read Gone with the Wind, is that it's
it's a good read, isn't it?
it's a really good
Yeah.
read, and it's such
Long
an
as fuck.
and it's not, they're trying to get rid of it today in school, and they're trying to get rid of, and it's such a shame, because you know what I learned? I'm not much of a history buff. I wasn't that great in history in school, but I learned so much about the Civil War from that book, and
Yeah.
that was a story, that was a made up story.
Yeah.
But it was well written. It was it was a literary challenge for me, because I was pretty young when I read it, and I learned a lot about all the ins and outs of the Civil War from a different perspective, because I live in the North.
Well, there's something very powerful about a fiction, historical fiction. I happen to be a big fan of it.
Especially when you can latch onto characters that are
Yeah.
going through that and identify with them in some way.
Right. And obviously, it's
That's valid.
when well written, you're getting the perspective from both sides. You're not just getting one perspective or tainted in some way, or bias is really the word that I was looking for. But it can emotionally put us in a situation that maybe we could not have experienced because we weren't alive during that period. I'm a huge fan of historical fiction.
You are.
One of my favorite books, I think. Did we do books? Yeah, we did books, right? I talked about The Killer Angels, which was a story of the 3 days of the Battle of Gettysburg, and I thought it was really well balanced. A book by Michael Shara, whose son went on to write many historical fiction books. I guess it's in the
prolific.
family. I'm sorry.
Pretty prolific, right?
Yeah. Because you had chapters from the person. They were all character chapters. So like,
See, I could get on board with that. When
Yeah.
it's just nonfiction, it's a little harder for me to.
I love it.
I get that,
read.
but I have loved some nonfiction. Like Band of Brothers was a book that I read before I saw the miniseries, and very, very powerful.
It's a fucking
Very-
great book.
Yeah. Stephen Ambrose was a great nonfiction writer about war and stuff like that. There's something about never having to serve, never having been in a war, that I feel like it's my responsibility to learn a little bit of their stories, also to understand the world.
And I mean, not to get all gendery, but like, you're a man, and men were.
Thank you.
Men were the ones going to battle, and there's like and you're a romantic, and there's something like romantic about and like sad, about going to fight for a cause, and so I could see how I would appreciate that, but I would definitely see how you would appreciate something like that.
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty horrifying to think about these young men who went off to war because there was a sense of adventure and romance, and then they're confronted with the reality of and the brutality of what war actually is. I feel like it's my responsibility to know something about that. So that's like nonfiction or historical fiction. When we talk about story, obviously it's been a great tool from generation to generation. You pass on your history, your legacy, all of that stuff. But let's talk just about fiction and stuff like that. I, in teaching theater and teaching video production, have always been trying to convey like the simplest version of what story is. And one of the formats that I learned a while ago was the sorry, I'm battling with tissues. The idea of the Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time establishes the world. Once upon a time there was 3 people decided to put together a podcast, right? So you kind of establish the world, and then every day, so you establish the routine. Excuse me. And every day they would, or once a week, they would get together and they would do a podcast. And then one day, something happened. Zombies invaded, or the video,
God forbid.
the audio equipment didn't work, or something like that. So there's always an establishing of the world.
Zombies
an
invaded,
establishing
and
of
then the
routine.
audio stopped working.
What was the real problem?
Well, so it's
Because
like
zombies can't walk upstairs, right? We're safe.
Yeah, they
on
can.
the second floor.
the zombies are
What?
ex-humans.
These are rules other people have made. You can write whatever you want.
That's true. You should write a story where zombies can't walk upstairs.
And they just walk really slow, so you could just outpace them if you just move with like a New York pace.
Yeah.
These
These are
Basically,
California
as long
zombies.
as you're
Yeah.
Basically, if everyone's
Slow.
mall walking, you're
Yeah, but
fine.
you know what? In the zombie movies,
It's gonna be called
you don't-
mall
It's not
walkers.
about this. It's
Never. It's never. I know
It's
what you're
not
gonna
about
say.
the stairs or the speed. It's about the piles and piles of them.
That's true. I always think the number one killer in a zombie story is the humans. That's the real danger.
Well,
The other
Well,
humans,
that's how the zombies all
I just
became
finished a
zombies because of some.
an apocalyptic book yesterday. I'm reading. It's a duology. I'm going to read the second one today. Good
Anyways,
stories.
but before we get to that, I just want to go back to I think for the most part, the structure of stories, of understanding stories, are there's a world, you create the world, there's a routine, and then you break the routine. And when the routine is broken, then there's cause and effect. This happens because this happens, and this happens because this happens. Am I wrong?
No.
Like Harry Potter. Once upon a time, there was a wizarding a kid who lived with his aunt
That's a
and
once
uncle.
upon a time scenario for sure.
You know, well, like even if the language isn't once upon a time,
No, but
it
so
could
it
be
means-
a long time
Oh,
ago.
no.
I'm just
Far,
calling
far,
that that's
far
the
away.
scenario.
It's
the
just
once
whatever
upon
the
a time scenario.
whatever the world is.
Yeah.
So there's a little boy, and he lives with his aunt and uncle, and they don't treat him very well, and he lives under the stairs. You know, and every day he would kind of be a servant to them. But then one day, what happens?
An owl shows up.
Yeah, he receives a letter saying that he's a wizard, and then the whole story opens up after that.
Now, do you think that, and this is, I'm just thinking like literary. So in the few times that I've considered writing books in my life, I've really thought about just writing like a type of memoir or something, but I've been reading a lot of fiction lately, and I just enjoy it so much. And I wonder, like, how did these authors come up with these, like, how did they come up with this world, right? How do they know it's going to work? How do they know that it's going to be good? How do they know it's going to take a reader somewhere? Do they have that format? Do they have the once upon a time and then this happened and then this happened and then it
I
was
think
over?
most good writers understand structure, but a guy like Stephen King at this point, structure is such a part of who he is that he can break the structure. But I don't think you can
Because
break
he created his own structure, right?
Yeah, well, because
then he can smash it.
Well, exactly. But I think you have to understand the structure.
You do
In
to
order
break
to-
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of
understand the
people.
hero's
A lot
journey.
of people like to play
break
the
the structure
avant-garde
before-
game. Yeah, and
Yeah.
They don't know what they're fucking doing. And then you've got what people would say. Well, this is Euro trash or American trash or just whatever trash in general.
Universal trash.
Universal trash.
I don't think you ever know. I think you have a first draft.
I think you have an editor.
And it's shit. Yeah, and then you go into a second draft and a third draft, and you start to get rid of the things that don't work and focus on the things that do work.
When I was a kid, I'd do the thing where I'd not want to go to sleep and we'd read books or, Dad, tell me a story. And he would come up with stories. And he had one story that it was kind of like a series. And it was about these two girls. And one was like an only child, and she would go play in the backyard. And then there would be like a kind of like her imaginary friend who would show up and they would go on adventures together, but she was real. And so every night, like every couple nights, my sister and I would be like, oh, let's hear it. Can you tell us like another story about, so-and-so? And so he would just keep like these little tiny stories about these girls doing things. And I don't really remember what they were, but I have a vision of what it looked like and what they looked like. And and I wonder, because he would just come up with this stuff off the top of his head, because he was always, he still is, a good storyteller and could just come up with anything. But he doesn't really do a lot. Like, he's a really good writer and he's a really good critic, but he doesn't like do any of his own writing, which is sad.
Yeah, because if he sat down and put it all to paper, who knows what he could come up with. But I bet you what he found each time was like I bet without even knowing it, he established a little bit of a routine, and then you break the routine or you create a conflict, and then it was about solving whatever conflict this little girl had to go through each and every time.
I probably just not like consciously didn't know that he was doing that.
Yeah. But it came from all the stories that he loved, and he just understood that. I bet on if you asked him, he'd probably go, well, I put some sort of conflict, some sort of obstacle in this little girl's way, and then it was about how do you solve that problem, Mm-hmm. He also could be just a natural improviser.
He is, and also he might not even remember, but I'll ask him.
What compels you about stories? But both of you aren't really you're not really fiction readers, but you both watch movies and TV. I read fiction every week.
This idea came up
every day.
That I really love in story, that I find moving.
And is this
story.
Theater as well? Or is this just an overall arc?
In all
right.
Art form. I love to watch someone who doesn't give a fuck learn to care. I just love watching that happen. I love seeing them figure out how they care about stuff, how they're influenced. And if it's not hokey, if it feels like a real earned shift, like it feels like the Bear is one of the things that I find this has worked really, really well in, is one of the characters. I wouldn't say that he didn't care, but he just didn't give a shit, and he was very protected. And then all of a sudden, all of his vulnerability came out when he worked for this certain chef, and they taught him to care. They taught him to care about little things, and you watch this unfold, and I just find that to be the most
And is that a result of finally being seen?
Compelling stuff.
Then you can actually see yourself the way you are?
Probably.
Because I made notes, because I like this. I love this topic quite a bit, as you can imagine.
All right.
But I mean, that just means that it's like creating credible projections, like that none of the characters see one another as they really are. So then when you have that arc, and then they do, that's rewarding as fuck, isn't it?
Yep.
See, because I love stories that live. I love stories that live in either indecision, suspension, or confusion. That live in the middle, where people go, I need this or that. Well, guess what? You don't fucking get that. You get the real fucking raw deal. And I think there's something to be said to what you're saying. Yeah. To watch the rawness of someone, because that is a rawness would watch someone cocoon out into whatever they are out of that chrysalis. It's too early in the morning. Chrysalis.
Antidote.
The antidote of the chrysalis. Yes, the Tales from the Crypt. Let's talk about Tales from the Crypt. So love that with the skeleton.
Is it seeing somebody deal with really hard circumstances. Is that kind of what you're talking
It doesn't
about too?
necessarily have to be hard, but if you're watching someone that's living in a state of, like I said, indecision or suspension, when they're just on either on hold, don't know what to do, or rash decisions, the results will usually be quite.
Yeah,
I guess I'm talking a lot about theater. I mean, I don't know.
But you also watch a lot of shows.
I
don't
do.
You?
I still do. Yeah.
Mhm.
I do. My intake is wide.
Large?
It is. It is large. It is
Yeah.
large. But I often find that I need to read. I need to read.
Reading is great.
And if I don't read, I need to go back and rewatch things again. It's hard for me to get into new things. Somebody was saying the other day, like, who was it was saying this to me? Oh, you just want, like, you wish theater would just be like HBO. I'm like, I fucking wish theater was as good as HBO. Like,
Right.
I mean, sorry, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I would put the beer up in that kind of category. You know,
Yeah.
that's geez, because
Something I watched, just to go back to the Bear, the other day, because I was watching season 3. They seem to do sadness and joy at the same time, which is really a beautiful thing. Obviously, it's what made Inside Out such a great bit of storytelling. But to balance those two things out, the reality of the fact that we're not just happy and we're not just sad and we're not just angry
Right.
at times, but we're dealing with more complex versions where there is joy and there is sadness happening almost simultaneously.
I am more interested in watching spontaneity than continuity or consistency. I don't care about consistency. I want to see the spontaneity, and part of the spontaneity is someone coming into themselves,
Yeah.
finding things out about themselves, discovery. I could give a shit about consistency. I don't want to watch somebody go home, open the mail. I mean, I don't care. But the spontaneity is so beautiful to watch when people are really living.
So
And there's so much truth in that, which is great.
We talked about this, Matt, the other day about how I tried to watch the first I did watch the first episode of The Bear, and I had a
Yep.
hard time with it because it was so real and it reminded me of
Stressful.
like my own stresses.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
It just, and I actually felt that way when I watched Uncut Gems too.
Yes.
I couldn't watch the whole thing.
It took me at least 4 attempts to get through that movie because, it just was uncomfortable.
It just
Stress.
and I don't need any more stress. I don't need to watch stress. I've got my own. So I tend to not watch shows or get involved in stories that have that type of level of stress. And I'm not going to know that until I'm watching it and I'm having my own experience, because what might work for you might not work for me. Although you and I have plenty of shared interests when it comes to certain things. But so like around the last couple weeks, I've just been reading this great series, and it's just total fantasy. It's all, there's people with superpowers and this and that. And there's a lot of human experiences and stories. Like each character has their own story. And that just, because I was recovering from this like sinus procedure. So I needed something to get involved in to sort of like spend my hours and my days. And I was consumed by how comforted I was by this story, even though it was actually a pretty stressful story, but it was an adventure, like action. And I find that fantasy worlds are so much more comfortable for me to live in than real people stories.
Because you're also dealing with like real people issues.
Yeah.
Just
With an artifice around it.
the dressing
to
around
give
it,
you a little bit of something to hang on to.
and maybe even a little bit broader look at good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a ledge to walk on. I don't like a ledge to walk on. So I want those real stories, but I don't want any of the shit around it. I don't want any of the magic powers and stuff.
Really?
Nah.
Oh.
You also
Doesn't mean that what you're reading is not great. I thought
you liked magic power
No,
stuff.
I do. But I if I have to choose the story about, someone struggling to figure out whatever, as opposed to someone struggling to figure out whatever, whilst also they can fly and tell the future. I don't want the other stuff
And
mucking it up.
why is that, do you think?
I don't want the artifice mucking it up for me. I want to know what the real human experience is.
But haven't you experienced fantasy?
That I loved like that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but maybe and I also think for me, like, not every story works for everyone. Like, certain writing doesn't work for me when it comes for stories. Like, this one, oh, there's a dog.
In the hallway, yeah.
There,
Bark, bark, bark.
one, like, I'm starting another book and I don't know if it's working for me as much as the others did,
Right. But there's also like greater stakes in fantasy, because usually you're not reading a fantasy book where it's about two hobbits trying to figure out if they can pay the rent. Or two hobbits figuring out whether
No,
they
they're
can
not.
get pregnant
But
and
whatever
have
they're
children.
doing, the stakes
and
are
stuff.
still just as high, just in a different way. They've got
Well,
to get the
it's
ring
more
back.
personal. Like, your stories are more personal to the people and not to the existence of the world, I would think.
Yeah, I want to see stories that are relevant to what is happening right now here.
Oh, okay.
So you could
I don't.
translate to having to bring the ring. The stakes are beyond high with that. The whole world's at stake. But I guess I want to see the more interpersonal.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch the two hobbits struggling to pay rent with a new child?
Yeah, if it's written well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that your stories, Grady, are a little more to the human existence or the human experience and a more personal level, and fantasy makes it a grander, like, the world is going to be taken over by evil if we don't. Like, the stakes are grander. Maybe they feel false to you because it's not there's not realism. There's no.
I can definitely get into that. But
Right.
Then again, also,
But not right now. Right now, what you want is grounded.
And it usually, but
personal
it's always been
drama.
that way. I mean, what other 10-year-old do you know is going to see Gorillas in the Mist, and their mother's taking him to see Out of Africa in the theater?
I don't know.
I mean, God bless
I do not know.
Well, I mean, women are my heroes. I mean, most everything I love is connected to women in some way.
Yeah.
In some way.
And look, their struggle is and especially in this country, is grand in terms of their personal
Yeah,
rights.
very true.
And so maybe that does feel grander to you, the parallels that are going on. I also noticed you asked for movie suggestions, and we can cut this if you don't want to talk about it. But like, you were like, I don't want
You're a hard one.
fucking romantic I don't want to watch romantic comedies or.
I started like
anything
4
like that.
movies last night, and
Oh,
I
yeah?
didn't finish them. Oh, Grady's choking.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, and it was hard. I mean, because there was
Except for there's Sharks Under Paris.
Sharks Under Paris.
I
was
did
an
finish it.
I didn't finish that.
Were
one.
there sharks under Paris?
Yeah, there's a shark in the sun. There's a shark in the
There's a new
sun.
movie on Netflix. It's called Under Paris.
No, I saw.
Sharks.
I saw the preview. It just it's not
Well,
for me.
I took a hit for everybody.
There's so many Love Islands I have to watch. It's hard to get
But
to
there's
fiction.
but wait a minute. There is something compelling about
I'm sure it's much
about
more
also
compelling than the
puppete-
trash I'm watching.
I find the puppeteering with those things compelling. Somebody's got an earpiece in. You have your own producer generally. It's like, all right, bring up the drink thing. So I just wanted to ask you about drinks. How'd you feel last night about drinks?
Did they
Okay,
really have an
great. No,
earpiece
that's
in?
great.
That's really what's happening.
Sure.
No.
Oh.
You know, yeah,
no, they're fucking
absolutely. A producer is telling them.
they're, on Love Island, or in Sharks in Paris.
Look at Matt not wanting to believe.
Sharks in Paris
It's not.
is not
That-
it's not
It's
a documentary
because they
or
know how
reality.
they know how to get train wrecks. You know.
They do, but they also
Excuse
know how to
you, Claire.
conduct them too without having to listen. Maybe the housewives and stuff is different because they do.
Yeah, that's
They are
that's not
brief.
what this is. These are like 20-year-olds
I'm
being
not-
idiots.
listen, I'm not gonna attack Love Island. I'm not. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it felt like you
I'm
were.
sorry.
Felt like you
I'm
were.
sorry. Yeah, but it felt good, and I don't want to do this.
So
Your sharks have earpieces in them.
I go for that one.
Sharks don't have ears.
They
Whatever.
do. Okay, sorry, Grady.
Yeah, they do.
Grady knows everything about sharks.
They do have ears.
Yeah, it's a story, a movie can be, it's hard. Like, and sometimes I'm asking you guys for movie suggestions when I don't know where my head's at.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even know. You could give me a list of 10 suggestions and I'm looking at the titles of them and I'm like, no, that doesn't sound like what I want to
If
watch.
somebody asks me
no.
for a list, I will always give them a list, expecting they will watch nothing that I've given
Yeah,
them.
yeah, you can't. You're just
Well-
here. I've done my job. I'm helping.
And
Yeah.
I
Take and do what you will.
I started to watch Marcel the Shell and I love Marcel the Shell, but it was so wholesome that I couldn't stand it.
We need to wait till you get to the middle where the where the shell comes off.
No. I just but Last night I started to watch. I didn't remember the first two, but I almost got through Oppenheimer. Couldn't. It was too much. It wasn't thrilling enough. I wasn't in the mood
Too
for
many
it.
men talking.
There, I started
Not
to
enough
watch.
bomb.
New-
Bomb.
Yeah, I wanted
Give
to
me
get to the bomb. The New World. I tried to watch that. There wasn't enough dialogue.
The New World. What is that?
A New World. It's from 2005. It's the Pocahontas story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I ended on The Abyss, which was
I love The Abyss.
It's a brilliant film.
really. Oh, I'm so glad
I
you
love
guys
The Abyss.
approved.
She's looking behind
Oh.
the scenes what they went through to fucking make that. in
Okay,
South
okay. Don't
Carolina.
tell me anything. I haven't finished it
Oh.
because
a
I
brilliant
love
film.
like foreign films about disasters. That's
The Abyss was filmed in South Carolina in a fucking silo, in a military nuclear
I think
silo.
it's the same thing.
The Abyss is.
Ed Harris.
Oh no, this is
Mary
a
Elizabeth.
Swedish film about earthquakes.
Oh no, different.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the James Cameron film about. I
Okay,
guess that maybe they're oil riggers. No, they're
They're working on they're drilling for something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
that's the one that I'm watching, but it's Swedish. All right, so I'm gonna have to watch that
well,
one.
maybe they're doing a take on it.
Did they maybe was The Abyss based on a different?
This was a foreign film.
I've
Like,
got a
I don't
phone.
know.
Why don't I
Yeah.
look it up?
there's
Did you
like
look?
there's subtitles. Like it's called The Abyss,
I
but
thought
then
The
it's
Abyss
on
was
Swedish.
based on a novel.
The Abyss is the special effects in The Abyss, the James Cameron movie, were huge breakthroughs at the time.
Yeah, I don't think this is
And
the same
those
Can't
movie.
be.
that cast was very unhappy filming that. That
Oh,
was
it was
a
brutal.
brutal.
Oh, you're thinking of the film, the 1989 film?
Yes, probably.
Okay, the one that I started to watch is a 2023 film.
Ow, very different.
Yeah, it's
I
about
think.
earthquakes.
I also really enjoy, and this is something that Sorkin does a lot. You have to watch people do their jobs while dealing with difficult interpersonal relationships.
I like
So,
that too.
like
Network.
well, he also
broadcast
like
news.
broadcast news is a beautiful.
That's a better
beautiful.
example, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. You're watching people kind of fall apart in their personal life, and then you have to watch them do their job, and they do their job really well. Like
They
the
live in that
newsroom,
duality. They're living in
Yeah.
that suspension or indecision, and that's interesting.
Sports Night, West Wing.
Sports
they were
Night.
all really, really great at doing that. You're watching people in some ways fall apart, but still be really, really good at their jobs.
Wait, what are we talking about?
I like the idea of watching people have to deal with stuff in their personal life
Are
and
we,
then have to actually
Why
do
you
their
like
job.
Taskmaster
oh,
so
are we
much.
talking about a film still, like a story?
Well, it's like Aaron Sorkin's writing is very much like that. Like The West Wing is, you have smart people and they have all of these different interpersonal things going on, and yet you still have to watch them do their jobs. Or Sports Night was even the best example, his first show, where there's so much going on behind the scenes, and then you had to watch them actually do their jobs, and did it affect how they did their jobs? Or I think that you can show a lot to an audience while you're watching someone do something, feeling something that's totally unrelated to what's going on in their life.
It's interesting. Like
And Newsroom is like
I
that,
think
too.
about if someone were to do a documentary or a story on like my life, and not just me personally, but it's like, somebody who deals with like, every day is a different day in terms of mental health. The job that is, sometimes great and sometimes hard. And then at the end of the day, it's like there's like the world that I go into after my day job is just so completely different. Like the friends that I have, the lifestyle that I have, the theater, like the world, like jumping into theater or like recovery. Like it's like I'm a completely different person when I'm at my job.
You're like a George Lucas film, really. There's 3 different worlds that you live in. Like
Yeah.
most of his films, they think have 3 different worlds in it. 3 different planets that you're going to see.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the way that you have to live. Whether
Yeah.
On
it's
Coruscant.
yeah, that's where work
I
is.
think you live in Naboo.
Yeah, and then recovery is probably
Dagobah.
Corellia.
Oh, I was say the nice part of Dagobah.
Well, Dagobah doesn't have a lot of traffic.
They're at the hotel on the other side. Luke, if,
Oh,
if
okay,
Luke had
the-
just
the
gone through the
hotel-
bushes,
the Hilton-
there's a
the Hilton
there's a Hilton
Dagobah?
garden, and it's right
Yeah.
there. The whole time you kept saying, "Go through the bushes, keep going,"
Well, then there's like this is its own planet. This space that we've created here. a place to
Dathomir.
open up and talk. And I just so you
I
guys
kid.
know, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know.
I'm a Star Wars fan, but I haven't gotten that far into it.
No, that's
That I remember names of planets.
Deep cuts. We are
Oh.
deep cutting it.
I'm very thankful that we can watch theater at home these days. Very much so.
But I love going to
Because-
the theater.
I do too. Well, actually, I don't. I don't necessarily like to be in person all the time.
I think story-wise, comedy is the toughest for me to watch
Yeah, I would agree.
because I have such a high standard for
But-
it, and I
but-
need to be surprised. I do like things that are light, that have comedy to them, but maybe aren't. Excuse me. Thought of as like out and out comedies.
yeah, the bear.
Well, it's not even a comedy,
not a comedy.
in any way.
Just an award show gimmick.
But I do like tragedy. Like one of my favorite plays is King Lear for sure.
But theater and film are so fundamentally different. We want to lump them together. But something that might shock you on film means
But it's
nothing on
story.
stage.
But it's
And something
still
that might shock
story.
you on stage might seem mawkish and stupid on film. I find that really interesting. There are things that I'm like, oh, I want to see this on stage, but in a movie, this would not work.
I mean, yeah, because they're.
Or vice versa.
Or sometimes
you're
it's
talking
the
about the Da
films
Vinci
get
Code,
so
I get it.
intense.
I'm not,
I know. You don't want to
not
make the Da Vinci Code a
speaking
play
that
because
into
that would
existence,
be
yeah.
No, because one is very much about language and the other one is about visual. You know,
Well-
you also have suspension of disbelief when you have the theater. And movies, you mostly have a reality, even if it is a fantasy.
Yes,
There's a
so-
reality to it.
Theater's like maybe our last real social ritual that we have that we can all experience together that's in the moment with real people happening right there in the moment.
A concert,
And we're
too.
losing that.
It's not storytelling,
I-
but it's a shared
It's
experience.
a shared experience, but there's something more ritualistic about theater.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think you prefer theater as a shared experience, but I
Because I feel that with a concert, most of the time you're going to get the set list. I know what the set list is going to be. Hopefully, if I'm watching good theater, I might go see it 3 times and see it differently. Whereas if I'm going to see, no offense, Sarah McLachlan, I'm going to see the same set list. It's going to be fantastic, but I can see the same show in Albuquerque as I could in Milwaukee.
you don't think the energy of the crowd
Well,
shifts it
okay,
because
now we're getting
technically a theater production, you're watching the same play. It's like what you're paying attention
subjective
to.
minds, all seeing things
But it's
differently.
the same
Yeah.
play. You talk about a set list and a
It's
script.
interesting you bring the audience into it. You're right, because that does change the energy of a musician's stance and how they filter through and then put it back out there. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Really,
the play may be the same, but you're getting something different out of it because you're just paying attention to the left side of the stage.
maybe.
You know, or you're paying attention to this character as
Maybe.
opposed to that character. You know, what's really nice about theater is that you're kind of putting the cuts, the images together in your head because you're paying attention to what you want to pay attention to. A movie, obviously, you're paying attention to what the director wants you to see at that time. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, a concert
that's true. Yeah,
feels pretty ritual to me, especially
is
when you
ritualistic
see
for
those
sure.
those people at the Taylor Swift concerts, whether you like her or not. I mean, they're having a shared experience that is electric. It seems like, you know.
yeah, they are.
So
The collective mind is very fascinating. That could be another topic for sure.
write it down so we don't forget it.
Well, there's like last summer when I went to see Joni Mitchell, it was, I mean, everybody in that arena, that makes me think of the Hunger Games. The
Could have been an arena, though.
But wow, but see, yeah, I mean, that is really interesting. There's such emotional moments where
Well-
there's such. So let's say, if she sings the first lyrics to "A Case of You" just before our love got lost, now you got 6,000 people that hear that,
20,
and it means something.
30,000.
It means something different to each person,
Yeah.
but it's so emotional that energy is being pushed forward.
Oh my God.
And it's, you can't even if it's maybe not affecting you personally, the energy of everyone else is affecting you and you're pulled into that, which is a beautiful,
Well-
beautiful, beautiful thing.
And there were
I didn't fart.
people who were there they were, they're multi generations.
Absolutely.
Someone like me, and I might be one of the youngest people there, who who just felt like her music changed my life, and then other people there who'd seen her perform 35 years ago or 40, 50 maybe.
Yeah. No, maybe not that.
Well, 35
You went
years
multiple
ago,
days too, didn't you?
Well, she just performed one night.
50? She's performing over 50 years.
Yeah, well, 35 years ago was when I was born, and she wasn't.
No, I just thought like last time you saw her, I thought you went multiple nights.
The first night was Brandy Carlisle. The second night was Joni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
I guess,
But I'm going again, which
Yes, you
maybe
are.
that's what you're thinking.
No. I thought because you went all the way to the Gorge, right?
Yeah.
I saw Dave Matthews there 3 nights in a row. It was
the
a little
Gorge
bit
is
much.
great, isn't it?
He
It's
performed
great.
3 nights
It's
in a row.
beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
We
I
went
went.
to all
Yeah.
3
You're on
nights
the
that
edge
they
of a-
were there.
you're on the
It
edge
was
of a
little bit
cliff.
much.
I
It was
mean,
a little
it's-
much.
Oh God,
It's glorious.
it's the most beautiful. It's insane.
Yes.
But
I'd had enough.
But also, my story at the time is that I was going through something emotional at the time.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, whenever I am, like, Joni Mitchell's music has always been so important to me, especially when I'm going through something, because the poetics and the melodies of her songs, like, just they just help me heal and they help me feel.
Yep.
And at the time, I was going through something that was kind of sad, and I was able to really connect so much more with her music and what I was experiencing, rather than, like, maybe if I were in a let's just say this: whenever I'm dating and I'm in a happy and a good relationship, like, everything in my mental state is elevated and happy. So I'm always like, oh, like, I don't really have space for this sadness, or I don't have space for melancholy.
That's why you gotta see someone else hold that space for you, so that you can then listen to it and know that you're not alone. And there's probably 4,000 other people who are having the same moment that you are, even though you'll never discuss it.
So you
But
can't.
that's a social ritual with that, right? And we connect with that, And here, I was thinking about this, like, sometimes you think, oh, wow, we're sitting in this room together. We're all doing this together. This is pretty incredible, right? And it has to mean something, Because, see, like with theater, what I'm thinking about is the moment that a play becomes theater, you have to convince the audience it's got something to say about the life they're living, I think. Because you can't put that in the program notes. And you can't just carry on with the ritual.
Not if you don't have a program.
Okay, well, that's very good too, but you just can't continue with the ritual. You have to convince the audience. Those lyrics to you are resonating because she does have something to say about what's going on in your life right now, and those lyrics are fucking 60 years old.
And they've been saying
But they
something
resonate
different
even
to
more
me
the older
for
you get.
20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But now it's like, what did it mean to you at 19, and now what does it mean to you at 30, whatever?
Does it unlock a melancholy though for you? You were saying that you like,
Or does
if
it
you're in a
release it?
relationship where things are going well, you don't have place for that melancholy.
Yeah. There's
Do you
some
listen-
of her songs, because her stuff to me means, she doesn't sing about, and she doesn't write about contentment in life. She sings and she paints pictures of, like, pain and wonder.
I like music that is just about joy. Feels
But yeah, I don't know if
so,
there is.
so rare
Yeah.
to me. I mean, I know it exists. Like, I could think of, like, polyphonic sprees, light
Oh,
and
God.
day.
Jeez.
We're just like, will make you feel good and stuff like that.
Get out, yeah.
But for the most part, I am searching for my music when I'm feeling melancholy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the stuff that I want when I'm feeling melancholy.
That's what I think
We've gotten a little away
I
from
think
story,
our
but,
greatest
like, this is us.
artists
But
in
I
the
think-
world, writers
It's
or
all
whatever,
relative.
they carry the weight of our pain.
Yeah. Well, and
When we
so
can't.
that's why in that
They
time,
carry
like,
the weight of our grief, of our judgment, when we can't.
yeah.
They give us the words and we don't have them. Those are our greatest assets. Whether
Well,
you're an
that's- yeah.
actor, a writer, a painter, whatever, you're carrying the weight for other people, whether you realize it or not. hopefully you do realize it so you can do better
Right.
and carry even more weight
That
and
reminds-
push yourself.
Reminds me of that Ethan Hawke TED Talk where
Yeah,
where
that's
he's-
very
where he's
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about,
that's
like,
that
you know,
totally
nobody
relates
has
to
a
that.
lot of room for poetry until they're dealing with heartbreak
Uh-huh.
and loss.
Then they
and
got
stuff.
all the
Yeah.
fucking room in the world for
And
it.
that honestly is what great story does. Like, yes, it's about passing information. Yes, it's about shining a light on society so that we can learn about ourselves. But it's also like, again, the fucking point of this podcast is to help you feel seen, you know? And hopefully, as movies and TV and books are starting to evolve, more people are feeling included.
Yes,
and
beyond
feeling
more
seen.
than ever, more than ever.
I know, but there's still a long way to go.
What I'm,
So,
well,
you know,
I mean, the things I'm reading right now are things I wish I had had when I was 13 or 14 years old, and they mean so much to me now. I can't believe that younger people have access to these stories that just are.
yeah.
It's so cool. It's so cool that it's just really, yeah. And we do have a long way to go, but it is out there if you're looking for it. And if you're looking for it, I think you will find it. And the fact that you are
I guess
looking for it
like
means that
movies and TV are slowly becoming more inclusive, but not nearly enough.
in the States, for sure.
Yeah, in the States, you know.
For sure.
Um,
For sure. And it seems like we're moving forward, but then I'm like, well,
and then
wait
we
a minute.
take
I'm
two
like,
steps
are
back.
we?
Yeah,
A little
So
bit,
it's-
yeah.
so-
And I don't even mean, I'm not even getting political. I just with the, I don't know. It's yeah. Story for another time.
All right. Is there anything else that we want to add about story? I mean, this is again one of those episodes that, like,
There's so much, like, you know, just
Yeah.
even if we didn't talk about, like,
I just,
quintessential what you would think a story is, like, a lot of what we do in our life is about stories.
but I just, it is
Personal stories.
But this is why I find theater, I think, so fascinating, and the type of theater that I find so fascinating. The very specific type of modern theater I find fascinating is that it has to make a case for itself night after night. It has to make a case for itself. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. It's not happening. A movie's already done. Endgame's done. I can watch it 1,000,000 times over. It doesn't have to sell anything to me. It doesn't make a case for anything to me. I love it. It's great. It is what it is. It's never going to be anything different. But I love that the type of theater that I love can be different within its own sphere and its own structure, which is crazy to me. And we're just touching the surface of that type of acting and that type of writing and the accessibility of the audience's ear to understand that. Because as a director, which I haven't done in a minute, but as you as a director, aren't you interested in putting people on stage that are in the audience? If I'm directing, and you can't always do this, but I want to put people on stage that are out in the audience. So being seen, that you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
yourself, you know, isn't that so cool that you can do something on stage to go, I know that you're going to see you here in some way, and come out like with Eurydice and maybe go, wow, I called my father for the first time in 20 years. Because I saw
Yeah.
myself there.
yeah, no, I mean,
called my daughter.
it's very, it can be
Or-
incredibly powerful.
Yeah. Anyway,
You know,
so
I
wrap up there.
That's really deep.
Sorry.
I mean, I think it's
But it had to make
an
a case for itself every
important
night.
medium. Yes,
And I think that's a beautiful thing. And that to me, when I get nervous or I'm like, there's the pressure, it's because you've got to make I mean, the minute I had to come on for that first scene, it doesn't seem hard. It shouldn't be hard, but I've got to make a case for it. It's got to be quick.
yeah. Theater can be simple storytelling, and it can be advanced storytelling. And I think when you start to ask something from your audience other than just being entertained, I think there's a lot of value in that. I think people
absolutely.
dismiss that as something that they just want escapism.
Well, because we've
You know?
deconstructed it down to they don't have, no one has to do anything. Just watch the beautiful set, watch the costumes, listen to the music. It's all there for you. They don't have to create any pictures in their heads because
Yeah.
we've taken all that away from them. But that's the whole point of the audience. It's not our job to create pictures. It's the audience's job. Don't take that away from them.
No, but I do think there's value in the escapism of theater. You know,
Without a doubt, you go see Back to the Future. You're like,
Yes.
listen, not a reinvented wheel, but I had a fucking great time with my son.
Yep.
I'm remembering the movie. I'm fucking totally there. And I'm not going out going, well, this really needs, the Pulitzer needs to. I mean, I hate when people compare that. That's not what it's there for.
Right.
That's entertainment, and there is a place for that. Thank God. Otherwise, we'd all be sitting in a room crying with me, reading excerpts from, don't say it,
Excerpts.
an anecdote.
Excerpts.
The poison.
Experts.
Something about the
Some
poison.
anecdote
Oh my
from.
No.
God.
It would be nice if people were more open to something other than escapism, like a long night at like we were bragging about Eurydice being like 83 minutes, like we're getting you in and out. But there is something really compelling about sitting and watching Dancing at Lunasa being
Watching
2
August
hours
Osage
and 40,
County and
40
just
yeah. Seeing drama really unfold and asking more from ourselves.
Because at the end of the day,
But I want to see professionals
you-
do that. I don't
well,
want to see locals
absolutely
do
you do. You absolutely do. But isn't
Claire's
it? But
face says it all.
isn't the true escapism in really seeing yourself, latching onto that, and being able to either let go of something or now figure out, oh, here this is. Now I know how to deal with it, or at least I need to deal with it. Then you can escape that.
I think that's pretty.
That pain. You can
that-
escape that because you've seen someone else mirror show you. I mean, I don't know.
I think that's advanced living, though. I mean, that's
Well, then
really
I'm living advancedly.
no. There's no doubt about that.
And I'm doing
We've
it,
never,
and I'm almost 98. I'm going to die tomorrow.
well, geez.
Advancedly.
Not-
That's a new one.
Yes. You're very Star Warsian today.
Thank
I just
you.
like to use that word. Someone, a friend of mine said it recently.
No, yes, there is. You're absolutely right. There is escapism in seeing seeing yourself, but I don't think people recognize that as escapism. They recognize seeing something that
Because
is
it's scary.
Yes, that has no meaning. That as a tonic to what they need in their
But
life.
even Back to the Future had a little bit of meaning for you, didn't it? Though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I think
Whether it's
even
you looking back as a
escapism has-
kid, and like showing it to your kid, like in a different format. I don't know. I guess the stuff I can't tolerate just there for no fucking reason other than, well, I'm talking theater specific. We've done it, and this is how it's done. This is the blueprint, and now we do it every 4 or 5 years, and this is how it's done. Not interested at all. Not relevant in any way, shape, or form, and you're not going to change my mind.
No, I understand, and some people believe that that's the only thing that they want, and in some ways that you feel bad for people who crawl through the desert and eat the sand because they don't know the
But
difference.
the hotel's right
To
there.
quote
There was
Sorkin.
yeah, you're right though. But then there was the Marriott right there. If they had
The
just gone
Dagobah
for-
Marriott.
Yeah, the Dagobah extended stay. This has been a great episode. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching.
We want to thank Puffs Lotion, Ricola,
Yes.
back scratchers, shower steamers, fart toys,
Fidget
pickles,
spinners.
fidget spinners, Harry Potter, Star Wars,
And
iPhones,
I didn't-
Oliver Peoples.
I didn't have a
Bioforce
severe
acid,
coughing fit. That was really like
And-
unexpected, and
And Matt is not having kennel cough.
no, not
What
anymore.
is kennel cough?
Well,
Well, when you bring your dog to the kennel because you go away to Florida for like a week and a half, and then the dog comes back, and then the dog has like kind of a barky cough.
But you didn't go to a kennel.
I felt like being on an airplane for 7 hours was my kennel.
Yeah, that was
they
pretty rough.
call that actually. There's a name for that. It's called a calm cold, where a lot of people when they're traveling or go to these comic conventions come back with a little head cold, or go to an amusement park.
I
It's
always,
called a calm cold.
I
It's the
I
real
just
thing.
haven't flown in so long, but I used to take like airborne when I got on the flight
Yeah,
because I would
always.
smart, but I haven't
I
done
wipe
that.
down everything.
All you need is a lollipop. Now.
No, I know, right?
Here's the story. There once was a podcast that ended.
All right, how does it usually end? Thank you. So what did we learn? Well, I think we learned that I started this podcast because I wanted to feel seen and I wanted other people to feel seen. And storytelling, when it does its best work, is making people feel seen, making people feel included. And it is a huge, important part of our everyday life. It informs us about the past. It can teach us about the future and is incredibly important to be a guide in the present. I think that's really what we learned. We had a lot of fun on the way, too. I hope you enjoyed the beginning. segment. We wanted to be a bit of a celebration because this is our 50th episode. We've done 50 episodes. We've been doing this for about a year now, and thank you to everybody who has stayed with us and has listened. We really love getting together and sharing our thoughts with you. We really appreciate your support. And those of you who may just be tuning in for the first time, thank you for listening to the Last Will podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe. And hopefully we were entertaining you. If you want to reach us, we can be reached at thelastwillpodcast.com and The Last Will Podcast on Instagram. So until next time, onward, forward,